and then plug the camera into that with an HDMI cable, I think. Because the cam link is just a fancy thing, but it would be probably easier if I just do it with the USB thing.
I don't even know what a cam link is.
Anyways, sorry. Just planning things and shopping.
Because very soon we're going to Japan.
It's less than 60 days.
It's crazy.
It's 58.
For what?
Until we go to Japan.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah.
Vacation.
I'm excited. Like after going like to TwitchCon now, I'm like even more excited.
Yep, absolutely.
It made me so hyped just to travel again. Oh my god. Also, knock on wood and everything, I think I dodged con flu.
I think me too.
I don't feel sick, so yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, me too, which is great.
I've been taking vitamins for like the past 2 weeks, I think, because before TwitchCon, I was at a convention in Austria already. So I was convention weekend, a couple of days home, convention weekend. But no, I'm good.
I just made sure to like wash my hand quite a lot and use hand sanitizer as well.
Same.
Still sometimes ate though without doing it, which I then realized later. Like on the last day when we had the cheese and sausage platter for dinner, and I'm just like happily scooping it up with like the bread and stuff. I'm like, I should have probably. Oh well, too late.
Yeah.
I also hugged everybody that wanted hugs, so it's like, yeah, I got lucky, dodged it. So far, I only know one person who got sick, and I almost want to say they probably didn't even get it from the convention. They probably got it from traveling around. So
no, it's been good.
It's been really good. You know what else is good? This 78th episode of the Halcyon Frequency podcast. I'm FG, I'm hosting. I'm here with Suwey and Kiri. We were recording this very early in the morning, / late at night on the 12th of July, or rather on the 11th of July for Suwey, because we're like recording across the date line today. It's very exciting. And this episode is airing on the 16th of July, which is kind of important probably for some of the news that we're discussing later, because there's a whole bunch of developments happening, slight foreshadowing here, with the acquisition of the acquisition of Blizzard by Microsoft, I should say. So that's exciting. But before we get to that, spoilers, how are you this evening, Suwey?
I am pretty good. I had a very busy day today, but overall, like, not a bad day. You know, it was pretty good. I finished my first knitting project in years, which felt pretty good.
Oh, that's exciting. What did you make?
Yeah, I made a oven mitt / pot holder. It's square, so it really depends where you are, what you're gonna call it. But it does have like a little slot for you to put your hand in.
Nice. Awesome.
That's awesome.
I can post a picture to the Halcyon Frequency Discord server. Someone reminds me when this episode goes out.
Sounds good.
I'll try to remind you.
I will.
I'd like to see it.
I'll make the listeners do it.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
If you guys want to see it,
good.
Please post it. Yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, me too. How are you this morning, Kiri?
I'm very hot. It's good to be back home again. There's lots of work to catch up on though, but it's at least nice to sleep in my own bed. But you know, we thought Paris, so TwitchCon was in Paris. We thought Paris was hot. It's hotter in Vienna, and also I don't have AC, so I'm dying.
Yeah,
it's really bad, and there's no reprieve in sight.
Come here to the UK. We literally it was perfect. We landed, like everybody on the plane from Paris was like shorts and t-shirt because it was so hot. And then we landed in the UK, and we had to walk off the plane and then walk across the tarmac for a little bit and then go into the building, and we got literally greeted by like sideways rain. It was hilarious.
Oh, right.
Luckily it's not like super cold. Like I'm still actually sitting here in shorts and t-shirt, but it's like a nice temperature. It's like 22, 23 Celsius, so like what, 70 Fahrenheit?
Oh, that's cold. That's like winter tempersures.
Oh, but you're in California. Yeah, it's
so
around
perfect.
75 Celsius-ish. Celsius. No, Fahrenheit. Celsius would be a bit much.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I'm good though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It was really good to see you.
Yes, it was.
Because we got to hang out on the weekend.
Yes.
Super excited.
We were in the same room together, so people now have proof of photos. Proof that we're not the same person.
Yeah,
Or one of us is a hired actor, who knows? But we were in the same room together.
Oh my God.
Photos, and we even streamed together from the same booth at TwitchCon. So there were 2 streaming cubicles, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Was this your guys' first time meeting each other?
No. It was like
we wanted to meet another time in between, but COVID happened, so it was the second time.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
You know what though? You said that the whole that people have proof, and now somebody came into my chat yesterday and they were like, I wasn't actually sure if that was you on Sunday because you sounded different.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, well, it's probably because the microphone was worse than what I have at home, because this microphone is a nice microphone, right? And
of course,
it's not the microphone in the booth was bad, but
no, but different settings, I guess, and then you sound slightly different, but.
And we had 2 minutes to set up as well. We couldn't, the only thing we tweaked was at least on my end, was volume, and then it was go. I couldn't even do a test anything.
Yeah, no, there was nothing.
There was no time because somebody took too long looking at the people who streamed before us.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because we know them.
Oh, really? I wasn't even. Yeah, I wasn't even looking who it was.
Dare I shame? It was Nerd Rage Fred, at least in my booth.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So feel yourself. There you go. You got called out. You're welcome.
Please end your streams on time at a convention. Thank you very much.
Yeah. At least we ended on time and stuff like that. No, but it was really good. It was, yeah. I don't think I would have enjoyed TwitchCon as much as if I had just gone as a viewer, but as streamer for networking and stuff, it was, and just talking to people, meeting people was really good.
Yeah,
for sure.
I hope Vegas is going to be better also for viewers, because there was just not really much to do.
No, there wasn't
much to do. Kind of a bit underwhelming, honestly.
Yeah, they scrapped so much of what the entertainment part of TwitchCon.
Yeah,
because there was no speed running. There was a little bit of Twitch rivals, but not too much. There was no esports stuff. There was no talent contest. There was no cosplay content. D&D. Yeah, no live D&D. There was the only sort of entertainment thing was the drag showcase, which we both missed.
Yeah, but apparently it was really good again.
Yeah.
So I still want to see the VOD.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah, me too. Got to go back and watch that as well. We're going to take a super duper short break, and then we'll just talk about the games that we've been playing, I think. So stay tuned. We will be right back with you. And welcome back to the 78th episode of the Halcyon Frequency Podcast. It's still FG hosting it. And you know what? I'm going to go in the order of who has the most games to talk about to who has the least games to talk about. Because for once, I only have one game to talk about. What? So, Kiri, tell me about Tiny Rogue.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiny Rogues is a small indie game. Well, actually, maybe it's not a small game, right? But it's an indie game by one developer. It's a challenging fantasy roguelite bullet hell dungeon crawler is that 8-bit graphics? It looks very retro.
Might be 8-bit, yeah. I think so.
And it's super fun to play. It's fast. And I was playing it at Level Up Convention in Salzburg, Austria. Because it's actually by an Austrian developer. And the game is already overwhelmingly positive on Steam. It came out in September last year as an early access game. There are lots of accessibility settings, which are absolutely amazing. And it's just really fun. So at the convention, I played lots of indie games because there was an indie area. And basically, I was there to look at all of those and showcase them and interview developers. And then on my own stream, I picked out a couple, and this was among them. And this was my highlight of the convention because it feels, even though it's an early access, it feels like a fully flashed out game already. So they're just going to add more content, but it's really cool. It reminded me a lot of Binding of Isaac, actually.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks really cool. Also, it's dirt cheap.
It is. Currently, well, okay, so by the time the podcast goes out, it's not on sale anymore, but then it's still going to be €5, which is very cheap for a game with that amount of content and replayability. So, yeah, It also, you can play a run in, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so, and it's just very entertaining. If you want short fun, or you want to grind it for hours, you can do that as well.
Of course. Yeah.
But very, very surprising. That was my highlight and the gem of that convention I went to.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds good. I'm definitely not buying it right now. No, I would never do that. Taking advantage of the 20% discount.
Yeah,
For
no,
£3.83. I mean, that's,
very little.
That is very little, exactly. And I'm still looking for games to play, so I might just play it as well until we get to dip our toes into Jagged Alliance 3.
Oh,
yeah.
Very excited about that one.
Yeah,
I haven't heard about it.
It's coming on. Well, it's coming out on Friday, but early creator access is like tomorrow afternoon. I would say. So that's gonna be interesting to check out. But anyways, cool. Tiny Rogues. I always like roguelites. Is it roguelite or like? Don't listen to this blind. But
I love it. So I didn't get to play much. I finished a run, and then I had currency to unlock more characters.
Okay.
I think you can unlock more as well as in roguelite.
Okay.
I don't know now.
So there's some sort of meta progression, even if it's just unlocking more characters.
I think so, yeah, because there's like I think there's upgrades and stuff that you can buy. Meta progression, yes.
Cool. Awesome. Very nice.
Have fun.
Yeah, I will. That's definitely.
Thank you for supporting Austrian indie devs.
You're welcome. Bitter. No, yeah, no, absolutely. It totally my jam, because I like roguelites and like that sort of stuff, and like dungeon crawlers, but like the action type dungeon crawlers and that sort of stuff. So nice, awesome. So Suwey, I know we've talked already about this like privately a little bit. But how are your adventures in PowerWash Sim going? Tell me more.
Yeah, I'm having a great time with PowerWash Sim. I hadn't played since the Tomb Raider update that they did. It was a DLC, but it was more of an update because it was free. So I've been having fun going through the updates that I haven't seen yet, because they are like actively updating that game. If that's a game that you haven't touched in a long time and you have, I highly recommend seeing if they have any updates you haven't played, because they probably do. And so I played through the Final Fantasy VII one, which I didn't get at all because I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, but I was having fun anyway. And then I'm going currently through the last of like the base game bonus levels that they added.
Gotcha.
So they had like 3 or 4 of those. And then there's the SpongeBob DLC that I got given a key for, and I will be diving into very soon. And so the thing I love about PowerWash Sim on my stream is I will literally just play Hangman with chat the whole time. And like, so I have a giant list of keys that I can just give away, because like years of having Humble Bundle Monthly, and sometimes like viewers will have Humble Bundle Monthly. They'll be like, I have a huge list of stuff. Can I just hand it to you? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. So, like, I just have this massive list. And sometimes people will just have a key lying around. They'll be like, hey, can I give this to you to give away? And I'll be like, sure. So, we finally dipped below 300 games on that list.
Nice.
Because what I do is whoever wins, either they get a key or they get to pick someone who gets a key. And it's a random key. It's something that has less than 1,000 reviews, so it's not super popular. Less than $10, so it's on the cheaper end, so people are more likely to have bought it if it's something on their radar. Lower reviews, like, percentage-wise, not necessarily meaning the game is worse, but it might be, and it's more of a gamble, so people are less likely to buy it or take it, because they might want to take something that's higher regarded, or something that's, like, was made before 2008. I don't know why 2008, 2010, somewhere in there. Like, those games are really old. No one's probably going to pick that if they could pick anything they want from the list. So I'm trying to, like, weed out those games people aren't going to necessarily pick if they get to pick anything they want from that list, which is, like, a Channel Point Redemption I have. So it's been really good for that. But what's funny is people can like push the key onto someone else. So I'm like, oh, if you win, you got until I finish reading the description of the game to tell me who gets it if it's not you. And then they get given the key and they have to figure out what to do with it.
Nice.
Because like it's at the end of the day, it's just a game key. Like it's whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun little game and it's been fun.
Awesome.
That's cool.
I dipped my toes into the SpongeBob DLC already, and it's quite good. Like it's good.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I like if you watched SpongeBob, like if it's something that you watched as a child growing up, which I didn't because I was like already, an adult when SpongeBob came out, basically. It is like they did a really good recreation of the SpongeBob like cartoon inside the game. I wonder, because I haven't actually played it, but they recently remastered Battle for Bikini Bottom, right? So I wonder if they just got like assets from that. I haven't played that game though. Like I that just came up like in my mind, like whether or not maybe that's why it looks, because it looks really 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 good. It's a bit disorienting at first when you like look up, because it's like the sky is a bit fishbowly, but you get used to it quite quickly. But it is definitely, it was quite good. No spoilers, of course.
Yeah. SpongeBob is childhood, so
you're the perfect age for it. Exactly. I'm on the last level, which is the biggest level of the DLC, of course. So good stuff. I'm also really looking forward to the Warhammer DLC. Like that's gonna be so good. Just cleaning, like I don't know what they're gonna do, but like anything in Warhammer is gonna be hilarious to do. Just giant like ships and stuff like that is gonna be very interesting. It's a very interesting crossover that I never like thought would happen like that, but apparently, it's a thing, of course. Very, very nice. Okay, Kiri, tell me, because I think I want to say I talked about this when I was on the podcast last. So tell me about your impressions of Kingdom 80s.
Oh, absolutely, yes. So if you talked about it already, I'm going to keep it short then. Kingdom 80s. I realized while playing it that I've mostly watched other people play Kingdom games. And I played Kingdoms Classic for like 2 hours and that's it. I haven't played more and none of the others, which is really funny. But I really enjoyed the type of game. So I had a lot of fun with this. 80s, obviously, set in the 80s, lots of references. I missed about, I don't know, 90% of them, I guess. It was really funny because I'm from the 90s and I know some things, right? But mostly it was just me enjoying the gameplay and the chat pointing out all the references and what they mean. And it was so funny because even afterwards, Mystery came home from work and he was watching my stream that day. And he said, I can't believe you got the reference with Back to the Future and the shark. And I'm like, no, I didn't. What do you mean? What shark? What? So apparently I must have said something that made it look like I got the reference, but I didn't. I had no clue what he was talking about. So good stuff. But gameplay was really fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good Kingdoms game. Didn't take too long. I'd need some accessibility settings. It was okay to play because I also zoomed in a bit. I think that's what you told me, right?
Oh, I zoomed all the way out, actually. For me, zooming in was very bad. I had to zoom out all the way.
Okay, funny, because it started zoomed out all the way, but then the water reflection, which looks gorgeous, by the way, was half the screen. And then the background, the sky with the clouds was also moving, and that was also like that, I don't know, maybe a third of the stream. Oh, no, that's more, a quarter of the stream. So there was lots of moving stuff that I couldn't see really, or I couldn't look at. So I had to zoom in a bit, and then it was okay.
Interesting. See, for me, like being super zoomed in and then having the camera like move it itself around a lot, that was really bad for me. Like I needed the horizon in the background to make it like make it work.
I understand that too. But yeah, no, I had to zoom in because the reflection movement was just too much. But yeah, no, overall, really, really fun game. I love the cutscenes because there were so many story cutscenes in there. They were really well made.
That's true, yeah.
I wish they would have been voice acted though, but
yeah.
very enjoyable 8 hours of my life.
Yeah, same. I really enjoyed it as well. It was a fun game to play if you want to dive into a Kingdoms game and you maybe not like fantasy. Going and doing the 80s one is a good option. Suwey.
Yeah.
A little to the left.
So a little to the left recently came out with a DLC, the Cupboards and Drawers DLC.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you looked at it at all.
I didn't play the DLC. I've only played the demo for it and it drove me absolutely mad.
I finished a little to the left and I'm still working on the get 100 dailies achievement. I'm at like 70 now, I think. I have the DLC. I haven't played it yet, but I'm so looking forward to it because I just love it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the DLC. So I played through the full game and I played the DLC. And then I went back and tried to find all those alternate solutions. I did have to have chat give me a hint and get me there a couple times. But overall, I had a really good time with it. Yeah. I really don't know what else to say. Like, it was a good time. Like, some of the puzzles, I did manage to glitch the game out once, had to reset a puzzle. But, I mean, that's kind of just puzzle games sometimes that you just have to reset a puzzle. So
yeah, no, I've realized because I played the demo for that, and then somebody gifted me Unpacking for my birthday. As cute as those games are, I have realized they're not for me. They're 100% not for me. They just drive me absolutely mad.
No, they're really great for my neurodivergence. I just love that. It's so good.
See what I hate. I mean, this is not a little to the left. This is talking about unpacking. But you know what I hate about unpacking? You have the boxes and you take out the items one by one. I hate it. I just want them all lined up and then put them away. I hate not having to take them out of a box and then not knowing what comes up, so I can't already like prearrange it. And then I have to
like that.
And then I have to move stuff around to make it fit, and that just drives me absolutely mad. I just want to shove stuff in and move on. Which is why I've realized these games are not for me. You know, because that's not the point of the game, so to speak. Like, the point of the game is to sit down and like design it like in a, you know, like make a cozy spot for yourself and the character and whatnot. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. That's what I've realized. Obviously now I have to go back at some point to unpacking and finish it for the achievements, but yeah. Not for me. It's not a game for me. Let's say it that way.
that's fair. It doesn't need to be.
No. Even though I really like the idea of those games, and I like that like there's a market for these types of games. I think for my brain, for my neurodivergent brain, stuff like PowerWash Sim and Viscera Cleanup Detail, they tickle my brain better than those puzzle league type games.
Viscera Cleanup Detail made me so sick.
Because
I can't play it.
Of the FOV and stuff like that, or
the reason that power washing sim doesn't make me sick is I can like lock my camera and then have my movements be separate from my camera.
Yeah. True.
You cannot do that in Viscera.
No, but you don't have to do as much of the
throwing. Every single time I throw something, it makes me a little bit sick.
Oh, it's the throwing. Gotcha. Because I was saying, like, when you're cleaning in Viscera, you don't have to do the whole move your entire screen around. Because I know what you mean with PowerWash Sim. Yeah, gotcha. It's the throwing. Yeah, fair enough. No, I'm glad I can play that game because that game's, oh, God. That tickles my brain. All right. Kiri, Ender's Dungeon, which we both just played last Sunday together.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Ender's Dungeon. I've talked about this already on the podcast because while the game is not out yet, there have been several open devs where you could play the game for like a weekend or maybe a week to try it, test it, provide feedback as well. It was supposed to release already, but they postponed it to October. And it's a twin stick shooter, tower defense, wave defender game, I guess. Yeah. Co-op. You can play single player or co-op. And we played co-op at TwitchCon. I really like it. Yeah. I didn't notice anything new really, and there were still bugs in there, but immediately after stream, I went to the developer and said, hey, this happened and this happened. So it is definitely not finished yet. So I'm glad they postponed it. But especially in multiplayer, this is going to be so much fun.
It was really, really
also
fun.
I also like the art style and just the vibe it has. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, the version that we played on Sunday was probably the smoothest I've ever played, like, of Endless Dungeon. Like, it was very, like, it wasn't laggy, it was not stuttery, it was very, I feel like they've refined, like, the animations and stuff as well. Like, it feels, I don't know, it felt very smooth.
Could be.
Yeah.
They said it was a more polished version. So
yeah, definitely.
They are still working on it.
Yep.
They're doing the thing, yeah.
Cool.
It's just, it's really cool. There's going to be more characters as well, and just more items, more bosses. I'm just looking forward to seeing the rest of this, really.
All right. I also have a game to talk about. Normally, it's like FG has like 50 bajillion games to talk about, but either I've played what others have just talked about recently, and then I also didn't stream for a couple of days because of TwitchCon, and I've just been going back to older games as well. So don't really need to talk about RimWorld again.
But what is RimWorld?
I know, right? Like, what is this game? Tell me more. No. So the one game that I have to talk about is a game called Forever Skies. Came out on the 22nd of June, so it's been out for a bit. I played the demo of this during a Steam Next Fest, I want to say last October. And the game's now out in early access. It's a post-apocalyptic survival game. It's kind of like Raft meets Subnautica, but you fly through the sky. So you have to hit up different points of interest, and you can find blueprints, and you can build up. You're flying around in an airship, so you can like make your airship better, and you can like get, ways to make water and food and all that sort of stuff, and you can make your ship bigger, and you can add more turbines and lift and all that sort of stuff. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's a really fun survival game. I'm not sure if it's currently, it's single player only. There will be co-op eventually, but co-op does not exist yet, but they're working on it. It's on the roadmap and stuff. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time with it. I played it for 6 hours, and I played through all of the story content, because basically most of the story content isn't in yet. So that you get to where the story actually really starts, and then that's where the story content ends. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of stuff to like look at overall, and stuff to investigate in terms of like getting like blueprints and other things like that. But the story content right now is about about 6 hours, but it's really fun. If you like Raft and or Subnautica, you'll enjoy this as well. It also has the voice from Subnautica, which is just obviously an AI voice that everybody can use, but it has the same voice. So it's the same voice yelling at you again to hydrate and eat and all that sort of stuff.
I know, I love it.
It's quite funny. And it's really fun. It's like basically you come back to Earth. So this takes place on Earth that's been like ravaged by an ecological disaster and a virus and that sort of stuff. And then the story is quite a bit more horror than Subnautica and Raft. So fair warning, it gets a bit spoopy, but you don't really get too much into the spoopy part, because that's then when the story ends. There is combat in this. The combat isn't in yet really, because the actual enemies that will attack you, that's like when the story bit ends. It's a bit weird to talk about right now, but I had a really good time with it and playing it, and I'm looking forward to it being finished. So if you want a good survivally mobile base building game. Forever Skies should definitely be on your watch list. I'm not sure if I would say like buy it right now. I mean, you can. It's 20% off, so it's on sale again. So you can probably spend. I know some people have spent like 20 hours unlocking every like blueprint thing in there that you if you want to do that. But definitely put it on your watch list. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's obviously not perfect yet. Storms need tweaking, and like the repair system is kind of
Yeah. I didn't like the repair system.
Yeah, it's very odd, but like the base building is really fun because you basically build a base like in Subnautica with different levels, but it's all mobile because it's your airship. It's really cool. So it's like Raft, but it's like Subnautica you base building. But I mean, I suppose in Raft you can do that as well. But yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I only did like 4 hours because I wanted to wait until the multiplayer's in.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I got like 4 hours in, I was like, I'm gonna have so much more fun with this in multiplayer. Like, I don't really want to like touch it too much in single player.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's totally fair, I'd say. to just wait and see and then go from there for sure. But it's one to watch out for if you like these types of games for sure.
Oh, definitely. I liked the vibes to it. It was very atmospheric in a good way.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. Man, we got through the game section real quickly. Nice. That's what happens when FG isn't really home and ready to talk about play all the games and stuff like that.
I also didn't play much, so
yeah,
we've been traveling.
Yeah, and I'm like super busy the next 2 weeks. I have another thing this weekend, and then next week I'll be gone for like 1.5 days, and I'm definitely skipping out on streaming on Wednesday. I might do half stream on Thursday. I don't know. It depends on when I'm home again. So it's like I'm actually gone and doing things. It's like what? Very
yeah. I took a week off sick.
Fun.
Super recently. So like I've only been playing PowerWash Sim since I got back, but a little to the left was right before I got sick. So I was like, I might as well just talk about that too.
Yeah,
you know, like
absolutely.
And it was okay, the worst part about the illness is I didn't feel that bad. I just had intense fatigue, right? And so like I felt guilty for not doing anything, but at the same time, like I'd be up for a couple hours, like maybe watch a few YouTube videos, and then I was out. So
yeah, fun times.
I would say that.
Yeah, but what is also fun times is this podcast, and we'll be back just after the short break, and then we've got really big news to talk about. So yeah, stick around. We'll be right back with the 78th heckin' episode of this podcast. So we'll see you shortly. And welcome back to the 78th episode of the Halcyon Frequency update podcast. Sure, whatever. I've definitely not already done this intro once, but you know what? I'm going to leave it in like this because somebody set us up the bomb, to quote a very old meme, in the person of Arch, because apparently American dates are mean. Anyways, I'm going to leave it cryptic like that. And we're going to jump right into the news. And this is the big news. This big freaking news that came out like yesterday. Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, first in the UK, and then there was also an FTC investigation. But not all of that, but some of that has been resolved now. So basically, the FTC filed that if Microsoft takes over Activision Blizzard, basically it was just a question of, is this then too much monopoly and all that sort of stuff, and will they then like not put, like there was this whole thing of like not putting Call of Duty on like PlayStation, all that sort of stuff. Like it was kind of a messy thing, but basically there was a ruling. A judge has ruled in that case. And the judge has decided to allow Microsoft committed to putting Call of Duty also on PlayStation and other systems for at least the next 10 years on parity with like what they release on Xbox, because that was the worry there for a while, that Call of Duty would only be on Xbox and that like they would sort of create a monopoly that way. But because they said, no, we're not going to do that in writing, so it's like, it's like a legally binding thing. And the court basically, or the judge then basically decided, well, if they put it out on more systems, so this is actually a good thing. So basically, the judge denied the FTC's claim that this was, a bad thing, that this is, creating a monopoly and that sort of stuff. So Microsoft's acquisition is no longer blocked by the FTC. That went through. And then as a result of that, there's also now been progress in the UK, because the UK regulators blocked the acquisition as well. But as a result of the ruling in the US, I mean, it doesn't quite say that way, but like basically, that was the next step. They paused the ongoing like legal battle that was going on to like renegotiate and open negotiations again. So the whole acquisition is moving forward quite a bit more. So originally there was like a court date set for the whole UK thing for the end of this month. Yeah, that's been suspended so far, and they're just gonna talk more. So Call of Duty will probably be will be accessible in the UK in the future as well, because that was apparently like the whole big thing. Like if they would pull out of that deal, the UK and that sort of stuff, like if they would not allow this, there was like this worry that Microsoft will pull like Call of Duty away from the UK and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, all good. So that's moving forward, and hopefully Microsoft. There's like this is one part of me that really wants Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard, because part of the deal is that Kotick is gone. And then that would be amazing. Like, that's the one reason why I want this deal to go through, because hot damn, that would be great. Get that. There's so many swear words that are swimming around in my head.
So many words, yeah.
I just don't want to say it, but get them out of here. Like, hot damn, just go. And we're a step closer to that. So that's quite exciting, and we'll see how it moves on from here now. But Suwey, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just want the management to change there, and like that gives a good opportunity for management and culture and stuff to change, which I am happy about.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is the UK the last block basically for the deal, right?
It is, yeah, because the EU for some reason actually said, yeah, this is okay. It was really funny. The EU said, yeah, okay. The FTC were, and then there was that thing, and then the UK were like, no, yeah. That's wild. We live in wild times.
I think that's going to go through now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
If the UK is really the last fort basically against this.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. But you know what? As I said, I think it's actually a good thing. And like overall, Microsoft's been really hands off. It feels like mostly they've been quite hands off with what's been kind of going on. But like at the same time, it also feels like that's why Starfield got like postponed, earlier, because it wasn't ready yet. Because Microsoft is like, yeah, no, so I feel like it's mostly hands off, but they're still making sure that the product is good, which I think this is a good thing.
We like a good product.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, and then hopefully no more stupid Bobby Kotick ever again. That will be hashtag the dream. Talking about things to look forward to, Kiri, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, that ties in with Blizzard Activision, right? So Diablo IV, the first season was announced. It's going to start on the 20th of July, which is a Thursday. And I'm very excited. There's I don't know if you've seen it, but there's an announcement trailer, like another Blizzard cinematic. And it's so cool. I love it. So if you haven't watched the announcement trailer yet, doesn't matter if you want to play the game or not, go and watch it. It's really good.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What is a Diablo season?
That's a good question, because lots of people didn't know it and they were very upset about it. So in Diablo, there's the campaign, and you play that, and after that, it's just grinding for new and better gear until infinity, basically. You just grind for better gear. A new season gives you, in Diablo 4, it gives you a new quest line, a new power, new boss battles, new gear. So there's always something new that they add to the game. But in order to play the season, you have to start a new character. And even money and your chest with all the items and gems that you had in there, that is account wide, you don't have access to it. It's basically a parallel world kind of that you start. So you start over. Although once you've completed the campaign in normal mode, I'm going to say, you could just skip the campaign for the story, for the season, which is actually good because you don't want to play the campaign again. You just want to go and do the season stuff. So make sure you finish the campaign before the season starts, and make sure that you collect all the altars of Lilith, because that carries over. But that's the only thing that carries over. So you start a new character, you don't have anything. And so many people were upset about this because they didn't know that that's a thing in Diablo. And they were upset that they're going to lose their character that they now just leveled and, basically finished with a gear and everything. But that's just a typical Diablo thing. But that's going to be cool. And the first season has that. For the second season, they already said they're going to add that gems will be moved into the materials inventory, basically, so it doesn't clog up your actual inventory. So there's always something new that they add to a season, but every season you have to start with a new character. And honestly, it's fun because there's also balancing changes for every class, really. So, maybe you want to try out a new class because that class is the best for that season, for example. And in Diablo 4, there's also going to be a season pass, but they now explained that it's actually going to be only cosmetics in the paid version, cosmetics and the platinum in-game currency. So it's definitely not pay to win. That's good.
That is awesome.
That's good.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm really, really excited about it because so far they've kept their promises. So I hope it's going to continue for the seasons to come as well, and not just for the first couple, so that people are not upset. Let's hope that stays that way.
Yeah, fingers crossed for sure. Like so far, like I feel like everybody, like overall, Diablo 4 has been received rather well, hasn't it? Like I don't think I've heard anybody say anything like bad about it.
Nothing completely bad. It's just, people who haven't played Diablo 3 before were really upset about the season and having to start a new character.
Yeah, but that's like the same in Path of Exile. Like, it's the same. That's how it works in all of these games.
Yeah, maybe they're new to action RPGs. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of complaints about Endgame, and with some I agree because some things seem a bit lackluster and can definitely be improved. But also, it's a new game now, and we know that more stuff is going to come with the seasons, so I'm expecting them to just change that as time goes on. So I'm not too upset right now about this. Sure, there could be improvements, but I know we're going to get them. And there's actually a rather big faction of Diablo players, but not Diablo 4 players, who don't like that you can't play it offline. So they don't want other people running around. They don't want the shared map. They don't want the world bosses, because obviously if you don't have time during the world bosses, you will not get to fight the world boss.
Gotcha.
And so that's somewhat understandable.
Yeah.
But it's also the features that I actually love most about it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hardcore Diablo fans who are upset about the
Always
online shared map thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. Which I can somewhat understand. Always online is not always great, but at the same time, I also feel like, unfortunately, that's where we're headed anyways.
Yes.
And they made a big deal about this as well. Like this is I feel like it's part of Diablo 4. Like, like it's part of the Diablo 4 world, kind of like that you have these shared events, almost like an MMO in a way. Gotcha though. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is, this, of course, I'm just clarifying this for the listeners. I've not played Diablo 4 at all, except for the betas. I'm not really an ARPG fan, which is why I'm asking these, like, maybe to somebody who's more into Diablo 4, like, I'm asking these noob questions. So, yeah, I'm coming from a place of wanting to know, because I'm not really into that whole thing, but good to know. And then we have one last somewhat personal thing. So Go for it,
Yes.
Kiri.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope that it's actually going to be announced by the time you'll listen to this. You might have heard of a game that's called Gord, Gord. That's coming out in August. It's a dark fantasy strategy game. I know FG, you've also played the demo, right, during the Next Fest for it. So there was a demo available during the Next Fest. I played it. I loved it. But also, this is very special and exciting for me because the developer Covenant Dev, together with the publisher Team 17, they're adding Twitch Drops to the game with subjects, as they call them. So a handful of streamers worldwide have been selected to be in the game. And you might know where this is headed. They asked me, and I'm in the game. So I'm very excited about this. Yes, it is super cool. Unfortunately, it's in like medieval times, so I don't have blue hair and I don't have glasses, and it's actually really hard to recognize me because all the subjects are also wearing some kind of hood cap. But if you've got a picture of the subject and a picture of me next to each other, you know that it's definitely my facial features. And there's voice acting included, not actually words and sentences, but lots of I don't know how to call that actually. That's probably a professional term for it, but just, you know, grunts, screams, that kind of thing. So, you know, you pick up something heavy and like go and so on. So I had a great time recording this, and I'm just so excited to see that in the game. So yeah, once the game releases, Twitch Drops will be available, and you can actually get a 2D Kiri in the game and then play with her.
Nice.
And I'm so excited.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I am also allowed to talk about this. I'm not in the game, but the event I'm going to next week is a Gord preview event, and there's shenanigans shall be happening. That's all I can say, because I don't actually know what's gonna happen yet either. But I'm
missing
traveling.
that sadly because it's not worth it to travel to England for like 2 days.
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
I know. I'm really I'm excited, and
I'm sending my alter ego to check it out for me.
Yeah,
so thank
I'm
you,
going.
FG.
And Mystery's alter ego Lex is also going because they let us bring +1s, which is really, really cool. So I'm excited.
Just
for
pretend you're me, please.
Does that mean I have to put a blue streak in my hair?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Although it would look good.
To be fair, I'm actually coloring my hair tomorrow, so it's fine.
What color?
I haven't quite decided yet, but I might do blue and purple or blue and magenta or something like that.
Oh,
Like 2
exciting!
colors. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I've been wanting to put pastel pink in my hair forever.
Do it. It's
But you also
honestly,
really have dark hair.
It's so helpful for conventions when you have a cap. Like people constantly, it's like, oh, I recognize you from your blue hair. It's like, okay,
Yes,
I see.
I was a beacon. I could just walk through like at the other convention, I walked through the indie area and people would just come up to me because they recognized me.
Yeah.
And at TwitchCon, I was just standing there chilling, really, and people would come up to me like, "Oh yeah, I recognize you. You're 2D Kiri." It's like, yes,
it's
it works.
super helpful. Honestly, as a streamer, it's like, yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that brings us already to the end of this episode. We were like super fast, but that's also because we're a little bit. I'm a little bit strapped for time. But I think that's okay. Sometimes, you know, short and sweet is also good. Thank you so much, Suwey and Kiri, for joining me in this on this episode.
Thank you, FG, for hosting it.
Yeah, I'm doing my best here.
You're doing great.
Suwey, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch, SUWEY, YouTube at Suwey, and then I'm at Suwey Streams everywhere else, pretty much everywhere.
Awesome. And Kiri, where can we find you?
The easiest way to find me is to go to 2dkiri.com, and you've got all my links there.
Perfect. And I've been your host, FG, aka FG Squared. You can find me at fgsquared.tv. You can find this podcast everywhere you can listen to podcasts. If it's not on there, shout at Blind IRL to add it. You can also find us on halcyonfrequency.com. And this has been Halcyon Frequency signing off. Yes. No, we're not signing off yet. Yes.
No. We have something else we need to talk about that we completely forgot about. We
That is true.
have a game jam going soon.
True. Good
TM.
point. Yes. So that's a good point. Yep, that's a very good point.
Join the Halcyon Frequency Discord server to learn more about it.
Exactly. I know Jess and Drongo have talked about in the last episode, but absolutely, if you only hear this one, for example, we're hosting a game jam at the end of July. More info's on the Discord.
Perfect. All right. So this has been Halcyon Frequency. Once again, this has been us. Yeah, this has been Halcyon Frequency. We're signing off. I was like super in the jam and now I've completely lost it. So don't change the dial and all those things. Also, thanks to Peter, Paul, and Paul Mile. There we go for the music. This was the super scuffed ending to this not so scuffed podcast. And we'll talk to you all next week.